Y'all know what's going on. It's time for another episode of Doing Time with Joe. I'm your host, Joe Baker. Check this out, y'all. Today I'm going to tell you about a big-time drug dealer whose friends, they turned on him, right, when he got locked up. You know the story. You get locked up and all of a sudden, you know, your friends started, they say they got your back, but they don't. They start doing things that you would never thought they would do to you, you know what I'm saying? Especially when you've been friends your whole life, came up in the game together and all of those types of things, right? So I'm going to share that story with you because I think it's one of those that is going to surprise you in the way that he got his lick back. You know what I'm saying? Everybody wants their lick back. You know, and this is not one of those typical stories where it ends up with the friend setting up on the witness stand, testifying against his friends and stuff like that. This is not that. This is not that. So if you're looking for that type of ending, you're not going to get that one in this story. You feel me? This story is about retribution. It's the ultimate get back. Dude is going to get his lick back. You know what I'm saying? So sit back, relax, and enjoy this show, y'all. Check this out. I'm not going to give you his name, so don't be trying to ask in the comments section. You know, it might sound familiar to some of y'all. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even going to tell you where this guy is from. You feel me? Because, you know, some of y'all out there going to recognize this story. But I'm going to say this. This type of story could probably and has probably happened in a whole lot of cities and a whole lot of towns across the United States. I'm telling you, I bet it has. But here it goes. Here it is right here, y'all. It was this guy, big time drug dealer. I'm talking about, look here, he had the whole city on lock. Him and his group, you know what I'm saying? It's about 8 of them. You know what I'm saying? They're all partners. And when I say they got bread, they got bread. Everybody's driving the most fanciest cars. They got that flip-flop on it. They got them rims on it. They got the women. They got multiple women, multiple kids too, all over the place. And pay attention to that because that's going to be relevant later on in the story, those kids, okay? So anyway, this is what happened. Undercover sting goes down. Everybody gets popped. Everybody gets picked up, right? But guess what? Everybody is keeping their mouths shut. That's how it's supposed to go, right? In the game, everybody keep your mouth shut. If they got something, they'll bring it to the table. Let them prove it, right? Let them prove it. Don't say nothing. You assume that if they got something, you know what I'm saying, they had to have something to come and arrest you. So if they got enough to do anything after that, then they don't need to ask you no question. They don't need no more information. And if they ask for information, that means that they want to do more than what they intended to do, right? They're trying to go up the food chain. You feel what I'm saying? But that is not how these guys operated. Everybody kept their mouths shut. But one person slipped up. The dude that I'm talking about, he slipped up. You know what I'm saying? And he left a small amount of drugs in one of his apartments. And one of the females that he was messing with, she couldn't take the weight. Again, it's not her issue. She's not selling the drugs. She's just in a relationship with dude, right? So why should she go down for him? That's what some people would say. You feel what I'm saying? So she said, that's not mine. That's all she said. They didn't need her to say anything else other than it's not mine. But the apartment was in her name. So it has to be hers, right? But she said it's not hers. Well, they say, whose is it? And she gives them dude's name. He stays here from time to time, this, that, and the third. So they say, did you ever see him using drugs, bagging dope up here, doing anything like that? She said no. She said, as a matter of fact, this is the first time that I've ever seen anything like that in this apartment. But they were cool with that because she said it wasn't hers, it had to be his. She didn't really understand the fullness of what was going on now to the extent that she knew that he was going to get in trouble and she wasn't, or she knew that much. But one thing for sure, two things for certain, she wasn't going to jail that day, not for that, because it was not hers. Now, I know a lot of people in the street saying, that ain't straight. She's supposed to be ride or die. She's supposed to go down for her dude. Well, maybe, maybe not. Maybe, maybe not. But come on now. This ain't TV. This ain't TV. The penitentiary is full of women, that have taken charges for men that wish they wouldn't have, because the dude done told them, I got you, I'm going to take care of you, this, and that. Then women get up in there and then they don't even get a money order. So this one, she was like, I ain't going. It's not mine. She didn't get on the stand or nothing. But that gave them enough to hold him. Listen to me now, because this is how this plays out. They held him and let his other 7 partners go. All of them out. And he's laying up in the jail, stuck like Chuck. They don't even want to give him a bond. They slow walking him because he got plenty of bread. All of these dudes are rich. I ain't talking about 6-figure rich. I'm talking about 7-figure rich. They got bread. They ain't playing with the game. You understand what I'm saying? They ain't on no ounces. They on them things for real. They got U-Hauls full of them everywhere, all over the city, and everybody know it. You know what I'm saying? These dudes are very sophisticated, but even if you're sophisticated, El Chapo slipped up. You understand what I'm saying? So he slipped up. So here's what happened. Now, these 7 dudes, they get together. Come on, y'all. Y'all know how this thing play out. They get together and say, look, the pressure's on. We got to put this off on him, let him take the fall, and then they'll leave us alone. So they get to calling the lawyers. See, that's what people with money do. See, they didn't go down to the police station and let them put them in the interrogation room, turn that light on them. They just called their lawyers and said, look here, how can we make this thing go away for us? They did this together, all 7 of them. How can we make this thing go away for us? You feel me? And they put them lawyers to work. So the lawyers are going to talk to the DA. They cut loose from the dude that's in jail. They cut loose from his lawyer. So these other dudes, their lawyers are going to work with the DA. And the DA said, well, give us this, that, this, and then we'll leave y'all alone. Well, you know what's up. They did that. They gave them just enough to pop dude down. I'm talking about to pop him down. They hit him with so many charges, they told him, look, plead guilty and we'll give you 40. 40. You can do half of it in the state, the other half, in the Fed, they give you months for. So however many months is 20 years, that's what the Feds was going to give him. You feel what I'm saying? And the other 20 years, they were going to give him in the state. The state just give you years. They load you up. You know what I'm saying? Count them in days, you're going to be sick. I'm telling you now. So he ended up with a total of 40. Now, this is what they was going to do, though, for him. They're doing him a favor here, y'all. They were going to let the 20 in the state run concurrent with the Fed. Okay, then, that's a 20. That's 20. He can do that. He can do that. He ain't numbered in his early 30s, mid-30s. He can do that. He'll be 50, nifty 50 when he get out. He'll still be able to play dominoes and stuff like that. He might not be able to play basketball like he used to, but he'll be straight. He can do that. That's what they're telling themselves because they want to be able to go on with their business. He the one slipped up. Why should everybody go down? You feel me? That's how the game get twisted. So check this out. They get him up in court. He gone to plead guilty. He don't really know they the ones who's doing it to him. His lawyer ain't even really digging to find out how did they get all of this? How did they get all this? You know why he ain't trying to dig to find out? Come on, y'all. You know what it is. When people got money, what do? Everybody gonna get some. Everybody gonna get some. His lawyer getting paid from him and them, not to really help him. You understand what I'm saying? So his lawyer tell him, look, this is the best I can get for you. It's the best I can get for you. And he takes it. But then later on down the line, when you get up in this penitentiary, you get in that law library. But when you get up in that law library, you start to reading in them law books and you start to figuring out things. Even if you pled guilty, you can get in them law books and you start to figuring out things. And say, wait a minute. If only 8 of us knew where this was at and the money was at and the contacts and all this, if only 8 of us knew that. And now all of a sudden, 7 of them out, 1 is in, and they know it. 1 of the 7, or all of the 7, or some combination of the 7, had to tell it. So he started thinking, I know they didn't flip on me. Now we thick as thieves. You know how the street is. Everybody loyal and all this and that. I meant that as a joke, y'all. You feel me? Because ain't nobody loyal in the street. Don't even get it twisted. So he started to figure it out. They had to do that. They wasn't saying it. They would, look here, check this out. This is another cold part to the game. He would call them. They making sure he's straight. He still got money. He still got 2 or 3 women. This dude is a 7-figure dude now. He still got money. He ain't hurting for nothing. He just can't spend it. Because in the penitentiary, I don't care how rich you are. You can hit the Powerball in the penitentiary. You can't spend but $85 a week. That's just that on that. And don't matter how much money you got. You can't take no cruises. You can't go to the Bahamas. You can't go to the Dominican. You can't do none of that. You get to spend you $85 a week, and you hope that they give you all the commissary that you ordered. Because they might run out of them summer sausages sometimes because everybody like them. You understand what I'm saying? So it didn't matter how much money he had. He wanted his freedom back, but he wasn't going to get it because he pled guilty. And here's the thing about pleading guilty. To get out from under that, you got to file a post-conviction. You file a post-conviction, say ineffective assistance of counsel or some other issue, and they granted, guess what? The state and the Fed, they get to start over. So all bets are off. So now you're taking a risk of getting more time. So he was like, man, he kept digging and digging in the law. Now he's not digging in the law because he wants to go back to court. He's trying to dig in the law because he's trying to find out, did they really do this? And the only conclusion he could come to is that one of them did it, or all of them did it, or some combination of all of them did it. And he set on that path to get his lick back at that point. Now, you remember when I told you that he had kids all over? Well, check this out. One of the kids that he has is a boy that lives in another town that's already up in the age. You feel what I'm saying? Because he started out young. You know, when you're in that dope gang, you're in the streets young. You got women, you know what I'm saying, pregnant when you young. So his son was up there already. You know what I'm saying? Teenager ready to put in work for his pops. Look here. When I say he got his lick back, he set on the course to get his lick back. He set on the course to get his lick back. This is what he did, y'all. He tell his son everything he could about all his partners. His son is coming to visit him. They kicking it. He's explaining to him. He making him memorize addresses, memorize spots, memorize everything about these dudes to get to know them, right? Watching them. This dude is following them home, checking out their patterns, doing all of these types of things. He got this young dude on some real 007 stuff. You understand what I'm saying? And his son is loving to do this because he's bonding with his pops. Bonding in the wrong way, but he's bonding with his pops. You feel what I'm saying? Because he feel like his pops has been done wrong. So this is what he does. His pops tell him, look, at such and such time, dude is going to go out of town and he going to be kicking it with his gal. Hit the spot. This where the money at. This what the combination is. This, and that. Because when I say these 8 dudes were thick as thieves, they was thick as thieves. They had each other's back. But here's how stupid, in my opinion, these 7 are. They know they done crossed this man, right? They didn't change up no patterns. They didn't change no combinations to the safe. They didn't change none of their hiding spots. None of this. None of this. So he got his son knocking them off one at a time, not killing them, but robbing them. I'm talking about the spots where they got them U-Haul trucks pulled up at. He pulling up, getting them. Where that money at in them duffel bags, he pulling up and getting them. One by one, he's knocking them off. Now, when he gets to about the 5th or 6th person, then they started like, man, what is going on? See, at first they thought the police was doing it because it's like, man, these folks is getting all of our stuff, interrupting supply chain and everything. They know when stuff is coming in, they knocking off. Then they got to think, man, you think dude is snitching? You think dude is telling them? Look here. Now, you heard what I said, right? Do you think dude is snitching? They worrying about him snitching when they done snitch. See, that's how twisted the game is. You don't mind doing it yourself, even if you do it through your lawyer, but somebody else do it, you get mad. Suckers, real bogus. But anyway, let me get back to the story. So his son, the one that's in the penitentiary, with the 40 years, state and fed, he getting everything. And he's taking it back to his area because his pops had bought him and his mom a nice little spread in a little small town, all the way in the back of the woods, away from everything. So he's putting all of this stuff up. They don't even know this dude had a son in this part of town. They don't even know this. So they don't have a clue as to where to go, what to do, this and that. But here's what happened. I told you he got to about the 5th person. Now he's got 2 more people to get. And his dad he's not slacking up. He's not satisfied. He wants to break these dudes. He wants to take all their ability away to eat. All of it. He's calling the plugs, letting the plugs know these dudes ain't straight. So things are drying up, but they got so much money, they can find another avenue. So he's got to get them in every way possible. Get the money, get the dope, and cut them off from the game. Cut them all off from the game. This is like John Wick, y'all. You know what I'm saying? You know, when they got on the phone and called and said you excommunicated. That's what he's trying to do. He's trying to wipe them out of the game. So when his son get ready to get that sixth person, they were ready. Because they started to figure out he got this person, that person, that person. He's got, it ain't but two left. He got to be coming for us next. So when he comes after them, they were ready. They were ready. They got security there. They got people there. They waiting, and they catch him. He all blacked out, but they catch him. And when they catch him, they got him in the room. And look here, y'all. This ain't no movie. I'm telling you what this is. This is real deal Holyfield stuff. They got him in the room. Now, his son, up to that point, he been playing gangster. He ain't no real gangster. He doing it because he love his daddy. And it's easy to be a stick-up kid. It's easy to rob somebody when somebody puts it on a silver platter for you, telling you where to go, what to do, the combination, when they're going to be there, when they're not going to be there. But when they catch on, if you're not a street person, you're not going to be able to adapt as quick as you need to. You're not going to pick up on the changes, the slight changes in their routines and patterns that they make so that you can protect yourself. You're not going to pick up on that. So he just kept taking for granted what his dad had told him was always going to be the way it was. And it wasn't. And when they snapped him, they snapped him. Now they got him in the basement. They got him in the basement whooping him. What's going on? Where's our stuff? And how did you know what was going on? Guess what he did, y'all? Because he ain't no street person. Guess what he did? My daddy told me this. My daddy told me that. Y'all snitched on my daddy, this and that. I'm like, who your daddy? He told them. And then that's when they figured it out. But look here. These 7 dudes, just like his daddy, they street dudes. They wanted their stuff back. Man, they started pulling out fingernails and toenails, man. Broke him. He told where everything was at. They went out there, got their stuff, and guess what they did? Dropped him. Just to send a message to his daddy. Now, the son's mama find his body in the barn. When the daddy called, she tell him, somebody had killed my son. What does he say? Did you see anything? Did you hear anything? She wasn't there. She don't know. She didn't even know what he was doing. So he says, is anything in the barn? Is in it? You see any U-Hauls? And he tell her to go look here for the duffel bags and all this and that. She can't find nothing. So the daddy knew that they had figured it out and got all of that stuff back, and they were killing that boy to send a message to him, sit down, shut up, and do your time. Now he's stuck. Now he still got money, but he's so bitter, he stepped it up another notch. He went to some gang members that's in the penitentiary. And he said, man, I got some contracts I need for you. I need y'all to put in some work. So they charged his lights out, kept charging him to put in the work, but they never did put in the work. Why? See, here's the thing about dope boys. A lot of gang members, if they not dope boys, a lot of gang members, they street dudes, real killers, and they loyal to one thing, the oil, right? They not loyal to no dope boy. They'll milk that dope boy. So they kept telling him, give me this, I'm going to take care of that. Give me that, I'm going to take care of that. They'll ride through, shoot up the spot, or tell him that they shooting up the spot and all this and that, but they really wasn't putting in no work. They saw him as weak too. You can't put in your own work. You done made all this money. You done all these things. You can't put in your own work. Now you want to come to us and pay us to get us to do it? Man, let me get that. So over time, they just breaking him off. And he figured it out. He couldn't get nothing done. Now he trapped in the penitentiary. Can't get out, and his son is gone. Now, why did I tell you all of that? I told you all that for this reason. In the game, like I've told you before, if I told you 1,000 times, ain't no guarantees. Everybody talks about the game like it's the business, like everybody's going to be able to come out on top, everybody's going to win. Ain't no winners in it. Winners in the game are losers, y'all. It's as simple as that. Take it as you will. Take it as you will. Winners in the game is losers. This is what you're going to end up with in the game. You're going to end up in the penitentiary, in the hospital, or in the grave. Ain't no retirement home for no street dudes. The retirement home is the penitentiary. That's the retirement home. That's what's going to happen to you if you get in the game. Hospital, jail, or the grave. Pick one. Pick one. That's how I'm going to end this thing. Hospital, jail, or the grave. Pick one. This has been another episode of Doing Time with Joe. I'm your host, Joe Baker, and I say peace, y'all.